virtualizing the teleport, I suppose, means different things to different people. To ViaLite Communications, it's impacting a range of cloud and internet-based products and services. I suppose for us, it covers three main phases. The first is kind of around the design process at the start of a project. The second part is the actual process of product selection for virtualized teleport, the integration and the installation. And then the final part is the post-installation side, after everything's actually up and installed, actually operating it remotely. So what I'm going to do to answer your question is to sort of go through each of those three stages with an example. But before I do that, I should very just quickly introduce ViaLite Communications for those that don't know the company. So ViaLite is a company that operates in the ground segment equipment supply chain. We're best known for our RF over fiber products, which help customers transport analog radio or digital signals over fiber optic cables for longer distances, up to tens or even hundreds of kilometers. So our products are often seen in the teleport gateway, linking dishes to the network operation center. And we're also used for connecting diversity dishes, particularly Ka band, which can suffer from rain fade, also back to the NOC. And ViaLite is seen in 8 out of the 10 sort of largest teleport operators as judged by the WTA, so thank you for that. We're widely known. So let's start with the first part and the design process. So what is it that's important to a WTA operator? So before they spend heavily on CapEx, they need to make sure that designs have been carefully verified and checked. So even in this new world of virtualized teleports, ultimately at some point, the transmit and the receive signal has to be back in the analog RF domain in order to use the antenna, the thing that's actually pointed at the satellite. So that will never change. So even though we're seeing in the virtualized world that digital version of the signal is getting ever closer to the dish. So ViaLite have been working on a design tool called ViaLite System Designer, and it already has been a cloud-based and virtualized tool. So we brought it into the market a couple of years ago. And it's been developed to assist users, RF over fiber users, to design the more complex, longer distance SATCOM systems and those needing DWDM type multiplexing products. So this cloud-based tool allows engineers to predict and validate the performance of their end solution before effectively buying. So the system designer that we have is a kind of a drag and drop product. It's kind of like a Visio product, and the cloud-based system actually produces results out the other end. So we've got a built-in system analyzer, it does a link budget, it will even do a rack space calculator, and it will also produce quite a nice schematic and bill of materials. So that's kind of like the early stage. So if we look at the second stage now, which is kind of like around the product implementation for the virtualized teleport. So what does the virtualized teleport mean? Well, there's obviously lots of work, and the WTA have done some great work in this, describing the move, or the market desire, I suppose, to move from a white box appliance type approach, taking those hardware components in the NOC, such as the modem and the switching and routing gear, and moving them into virtualized software components running on a more kind of standardized server platform, IT platform. And it enables really a new suite of services, such as the gateway as a service, and also performance improvements for the operator through service orchestration. So from ViaLite's perspective, and kind of our opinion, this directs future investment into the sort of the digitized fiber-based product lines, and supporting that conversion of the signal nearer to the antenna element. I think We've also been looking at this market and also see strong parallels with the LEO market. So we've been looking at a term which we call the kind of the LEO last mile, and you can look it up about what we've written about this subject. For the professional non-consumer LEO person, such as a teleport gateway or someone in public safety or maritime, the last mile really kind of reveals itself. So the Ka or the Ku band antenna, whatever it might be, can sometimes be separated actually from the modem. You can't always get that digital port right at the antenna, and that might be because of equipment room needs, environmental, technical, security, or commercial issues. So to move those signals from the antenna, the last mile to the modem, if you like, you would need a technology like RF over fiber to actually bring it down to the kind of the NOC, wherever that might be. It could be down a number of floors in a tower block. It could be in a secure shielded room. It could be under a number of decks in a ship. So that last mile can sometimes reveal itself. So I suppose the last area I wanted to talk about in the virtualized teleport area is the post installation, and how we sort of do operational remote support. I think a key driver for virtualizing teleports is the ability to monitor, control the SATCOM network and spin up SATCOM services on the fly at a teleport site with really minimal physical human intervention. That's really the goal. One of the byproducts of this awful pandemic that we've been living through is actually we've been trying to achieve some of these aims in terms of minimizing that human contact with objects. So our teleport operator customers, they've had to reduce the maintenance staff on teleport sites whilst we've been going through this pandemic, with a view to keeping infection levels low, but keeping enough staff there to keep essential services running. So all the elements of the ground segment need to be monitored, interrogated, and adjusted, all at arm's length, and should be over an IP or kind of cloud connection. So, from our business's perspective, we haven't been able to normally send our engineers across on a plane to do that kind of install and then post-install type of activity. So we need remote access tools to do that. So like any company now, we use video conferencing tools, Zoom, Teams, Skype, to kind of assist with the communications, but also provide that kind of online training and product demo. But alongside that, ViaLite has accelerated the rollout of what we call the SNMP in everything. So even in our smallest enclosures, and I think our smallest IP65 enclosure is the OD Mini, the one I'm just holding up there, we've now fully implemented an SNMP, which will do monitoring and control, and that allows customers to give them the full control at arm's length. Also lets our engineers here at our HQ install and optimize the links. So that's really it from kind of ViaLite's perspective. I've sort of tried to describe how a ground segment equipment supply company like ViaLite is adapting to virtualized teleport opportunity in the main three phases: the design, the actual product install, and how we're sort of moving more towards digital products, and then the post-install operational part. So anyway, hopefully you found something useful here in my answer to your question. You can find more information at the ViaLite.com website. And thanks Randall and the WTA again for this opportunity to share this information. Thanks.